The middle match of the Gamebridge Super League Saturday lands in the middle of America at the Cotton Bowl. We've got two teams hungry for form in Dallas Trinity FC and Sporting JAX. Welcome one and all to the broadcast on Peacock. My name is Mark Schoenster. I am joined by Jade Barquette on the call for game number 2 of the Saturday slate. We welcome you in here for the show. Here is where the two teams sit in the standings right now. Sporting JAX right now sitting below that playoff line, but a pretty solid season so far. Dallas Trinity, a playoff team last year, but haven't quite found their groove this season. Both teams are looking to pick up some momentum in this one, Jade. And let's start off with the visitors. When you look at the Sporting JAX team, you see a ton of quality, but they're just lacking that little extra touch in order to be a contender.
Yeah, they are such a young team. Their youth does show at times in these matches, especially later on into games. But head coach Stacey Balaam just emphasized to us how much they're looking to string together 2 wins. They haven't done that at all this season, but they have the weapons to do that.
Certainly have pieces all over the table, and some of them have been receiving recognition, including in the Team of the Month. 3 players in total for Sporting JAX, 1 in the starting lineup in Ashlyn Puerta. On the bench as well, you've got Georgia Brown along with Paige Kenton. Not only is it good to have that presence, but these are all first-year pros on top of that. So you mentioned the young team. They've got a lot of talent here, and you imagine for both these 3 players and as well as the rest of the team, there's still room for more growth, including from Paige Kenton, whom has been so critical to this team this year so far.
Absolutely. She was on that October Team of the Month, but she is just so integral into every single part of this Sporting JAX team. She plays up top, she plays in the back, she can do it all. Such a versatile player that is so key to their success, both on the defensive side, but recently on the offensive side as well.
She's a little bit of a do-it-all player for Sporting JAX. Meanwhile, let's pivot over to the home team. This is a Dallas Trinity team that, as you can see, the form has not been in favor of them.
Yeah, they have opportunities to make things happen, but poor clearances in and around their box are really just their Achilles heel right now. It's really focusing on those details when it matters most in your defensive area for Dallas, but they just have to take care of the ball even more critical as the season goes on.
And look, you can look at how things have been going recently, but you can also rewind back a little bit further and realize that this is a team that still has some serious firepower from last year transitioning into this season. So it's not like you're worried that this team can't turn it around.
Yeah, absolutely. They do have the opportunities to plug key players into key positions. They have a lot from last season into this lineup as well this year, fluctuating with players out for injury or for other reasons. But the numbers don't lie. They have opportunities. They have the ability to score. Now it's just converting that on the offensive end.
And one of the players that we'll be looking to help convert those chances, one of those returning players, Chioma Ubogagu, a player who can not only score, but also supply for her team.
Leading her team in assists, she works down that left wing really well, cutting inside and having crosses from outside the box as well. They're going to look to her to get that attack going, especially on that left side.
Truly a dangerous proposition on this team. There's reason to believe both sides can catch some steam, but only one can gain momentum this evening. Lineups and kickoff are up next on Peacock. It's Dallas Trinity and Sporting JAX.
Nice shot. Let's play.
Dad drills. Let's go. Your kid falls asleep 1 minute, 32 seconds from home. What's the play?
Park and wait.
Quick glance. What's missing?
Emergency fruit snacks? Binky. Easy.
In-game challenge. Have you officially named a guardian?
My parents?
Doesn't count. This play needs a plan. Guardianship must be legal before it's official. Luckily, Trust and Will makes it incredibly easy.
It's secure, affordable, and actually counts.
Next topic. I am wide open. What do you do?
Run it.
Visit trustandwill.com today and make it count.
Caitlin Clark, amazing at assists. Gamebridge, the ultimate assist for your savings. But ever since they teamed up, she's taken assisting to a whole new level. Caitlin Clark, graded assists. Gamebridge, graded assists for your savings.
We are back here at the Cotton Bowl here in Dallas. It's Dallas Trinity FC and Sporting JAX doing battle on Peacock. It's time to meet tonight's starting lineups presented by Scottish Rite for Children. Every child deserves the best start and a strong finish in life and in sports. And as the official pediatric partner of Dallas Trinity FC, Scottish Rite for Children is here to make that happen with world-class pediatric and sports medicine care. First off, the home team.
Dallas lineup, only one change. Samantha Estrada in for Riley Foster at goal. They're going to look to their midfield to try to build up play and get it to their forwards and wingers to put into the box.
So that's where they'll be trotting out. And then meanwhile, for Sporting JAX, this is what Spacey Balaam has got going.
Jade Pennick is on the bench tonight for start. Murray is getting the nod on that right wing side. They're crowding the midfield with Puerta trying to drive her higher up the pitch, use her as kind of a point guard for them in the central part of the field. Their back line has been so strong all season as well, so they're going to need them to stop the Dallas attack.
You mentioned Caroline Murray, her 6th appearance of the season, and then those two will be anchoring the midfield on the back end, Sophie Jones and Sophia Bowman. Sophie and Sophia. Match made in heaven there.
You call one Soph and they might both turn and look at you. So
yeah, exactly. That's when you got to go by the last names.
Exactly, exactly.
Once again, you're watching here on Peacock. That was the voice of former college player Jade Parkett. I'm former college student, I guess. Mark Schoenster here with you here on the broadcast. Can't wait to get this one going as Dallas and Sporting JAX are preparing to do battle for the 2nd time this season, and of course that means 2nd time in the history, given this is the inaugural season for the club you're looking at right now. It was a 1-0 victory for Dallas in the first meeting in what was a really tight game between those two sides. A 1-0 victory on the road in Jacksonville for Dallas. So the visitors will be looking for some payback. Meanwhile, Dallas, they're just trying to find a result here. I mean, both teams are looking to switch the trends as of late, but Dallas, you would argue, the side that's more in need of finding 3 points, just given the 3-game losing skid they've been on.
Dallas has done really well, though, in their last match versus DC. They led in total shots on target, and time of possession throughout that entire game. So they take good things away from all of the matches they have played so far. Now it's just putting all of the puzzle pieces together, which can be the most frustrating part because you're doing so well on those details and stat lines, but when you put the product on the field, it's not the results that they're getting.
It's a good evening to be playing the beautiful game around 80 degrees in Texas as the sun is sinking beyond the stands of the Cotton Bowl. Rodrigo Albuquerque is our head official today. They will be in the neon green. As Sporting JAX will do as they usually do, launch it over to the corner. We are underway here from Dallas. So let's see how these 90 minutes transpire. The first 45 are here for your viewing delight on Peacock. As you mentioned, head coach for Dallas Trinity FC, Chris Petrucelli, said they did enough to win in that game against DC Power, a game they lost 3-2. Felt they created a good number of chances and limited the amount of opportunities they afforded to their opponents, but they couldn't put theirs away. And I mean, you concede 3 goals in a game. It's hard to win a match like that.
And it all goes down to those fine details that they have to make sure they're locking down in their own defensive third, especially in and around their 18-yard box, when you have to have that hunger and that mentality to throw your body on the line, stick a toe out to kick the ball away. And they just hesitate sometimes in those moments. For them tonight, I'd just really like to see them lock down, stay together as that three-back, shift as a unit, and then control the pace of the game once they do clear it.
This one rolled up for Allie Thornton. When talking about returning players with goal-scoring ability, Thornton drags it across the middle. Was searching for Lancaster, unable to connect. That'll sail out of play. Let's take a look at the injury report brought to you by UT Southwestern, the official healthcare partner of Dallas Trinity FC. Outside of some of the longer-term injuries, nothing new for these two sides, so relatively healthy in the week-to-week process right now, which is exactly what you want to hear.
Exactly. It's fantastic that these teams are maintaining the health of their roster as the season goes on. You know, you can pick up little nicks and bruises, but these two teams really focusing on the recovery side as well to be ready for these matches game to game.
It's Grace Philpotts on the ball. Lobs that one up the pitch. Making the run is Ashlyn Puerta. Puerta's service is deflected. That's caught by Samantha Estrada. So Estrada getting her first start of the season. One of the 14 players on the roster that also played for the team last year, but it's been, in 2025 to specify for you, she has not made an appearance. She made 3 appearances in the fall of 2024. Last season, had 4 saves on 8 shots against. The 25-year-old from El Paso. Stepping in for Riley Foster in this game, who has been the starter all the way up to this point in the 25-26 season.
We didn't really get any information on why the switch or why the change, but Riley Foster has been tremendous for Dallas. 2 clean sheets on the year. Can serve the ball from wherever, but Samantha Estrada has the nod and the confidence from her coaches, her coaching staff, and the 10 above her in goal tonight.
See what she can offer to this side when she gets the chance to defend the goal behind her. Jacksonville, Sporting JAX, similar to that of Dallas Trinity, coming off of a loss, and their game, a different story in certain elements because it was one that looked like was going well off the rails. They were on the road against Lexington, and now, of course, Lexington this season has been the standard of the league thus far. You knew they were going to be one of those contenders going into the season, given just how talented their roster was looking to be, and now it's living up to that expectation. But you go down 3-0, and you're thinking, oh boy, like this is a drubbing that we're witnessing. But fought back into the game, made it 4-2, and as the final score. And Stacey Balaam was happy with the resilience of the group in that match. Didn't accept defeat when it would have been very easy to. Thought several players subbed into that match and really were itching to prove themselves, to get not only more minutes, but to help them have a chance to fight back in that match itself.
We'll see some of those players in this match as it goes on. Maddie Kemp and Andrea Fernandez, those two that she really pinpointed as players who have stepped up for this squad. And yeah, that was a tough
here's
game.
some pressure, and it's into the back of the net. It's a disaster in the back for Dallas. And pressure from Paige Kenton reaps its rewards.
That happened incredibly quickly. This is what we're talking about with Dallas, though, and those passes in the back. Kenton, who has been so on in these last few matches, just continues to press Estrada in the back, who doesn't realize the pressure is coming on her that quickly, and it deflects back into the goal. We talked about it all open. Dallas really needing to clean up the errors they're making unforced in their 18-yard box. That one a prime example, and Sporting JAX is going to put it away every single time.
Paige Kenton, a player that Stacey Balaam said doesn't get enough praise for what she does. Someone who can run double duty in a game as both a forward and as a center back, which, man, that's asking a lot of an individual player in a game. But apparently, according to Stacey Balaam, she is not only the smartest person amongst the players, but she's the smartest person in the women's club for Sporting JAX. She says she's smarter than the coaches. Like, she's just has that level of intellectual ability and is constantly switching modes throughout a game for what she needs to do, where she needs to be, and she's well-liked and versatile and reliable in both of those spots as Bogagu looks to fire a response for Dallas. Chips it in centrally. The volleyed shot sails over top.
That was a great ball by Obogagu. Just beats her defender on 1v1, and then Thornton slips right in between the back line. We'll take another look at it here. She swings it in with her left foot. Thornton was in the right spot, just didn't volley it correctly with that right foot. Hard to run onto that ball as it's kind of coming in behind you, but she timed it well. Good response from Dallas after that unfortunate goal.
A goal like that can sting and can mess with your flow, but something like that helps you jolt you back into position.
Especially in the first 5-6 minutes of a match where you're still trying to impose your will, and a goal like that can definitely take the wind out of your sails because it was something that could have been avoidable. But Dallas has gone right back on the front foot and maintained possession.
I'll try to work something from the left-hand side now. Whipping cross, just missing target. Continuing to poke and prod here, Dallas. But so far, Caitlin Parks hasn't been activated yet as we look at this replay. All replays tonight presented by DTX Sports Medicine.
Great ball over the top. Dallas had the numbers, just Sporting JAX very well defended in the box.
This seems to be just another example of what's been happening recently for Dallas. You already said it. It's been some mishaps at times that have turned results where they've played well into negative ones. And that's what Chris Petrucelli was telling us. He said, look, we're in a poor run of results, but that last game was pretty typical for what's been going on, which is not that we're playing poorly in the grand scheme of things, but the box defending just hasn't done well enough, and they're not putting away chances on the other end. So the players are hungry. Of course, they're hungry to get 3 points and to get a win, but they're more hungry to just set things right, the mistakes that they've been making in these games.
And that's what can be so important is, yes, you want a team that's focused on results, but you also want a team that's looking to get better in each match and take things away from every game, regardless of the scoreline. And this Dallas team wants to work on those finer details and stay in tune with what their style of play is, and that's keeping possession, linking up play with their midfielders, and then ultimately defending their box well.
And they're on the push once again. Bryant, double team in the penalty area. And Sporting JAX able to handle business there. Lancaster, nice cut inside to Bryant. Gracie Bryant tries to fire. Second effort, curling in, caught by Parks. Caitlin Parks getting the start once again for Sporting JAX. It's been a battle between her and Jamie Gerstenberg this season. Gerstenberg got the majority of the reps to start the year, but Parks has been on a run of games since then.
Dallas doing a really good job right now of maintaining possession. As soon as Sporting JAX had the ball. They immediately got it taken away and regained possession, trying to work higher up the field. Sporting JAX looks a little bit frazzled after scoring that goal. They haven't been able to control much of the ball at all, and that's going to frustrate them. They are a possession-oriented team. They want to grow through the lines.
Dallas Trinity fans want the inside track this season? Sign up for the DTFC newsletter for breaking news, special offers, and exclusive updates from the club in year 2 of the Gamebridge Super League. Scan the QR code now and stay connected all year long. It does change the tenor of a match, though, when an early goal is scored, whether it is for the team scoring or for the team conceding. And you have a pretty big game plan going in. You have your expectation about how a match is going to go, and then suddenly a goal is scored, and you can kind of scrap a lot of that and throw it out the window.
That's what the beauty of soccer is. It's ever-changing. You can go in with a full game plan, and the opposition can come out and score early or change their complete style as well. So you have to be able to adapt to anything on the pitch tonight.
Leicester with a good step there, avoiding the pressure coming her way. And now Caroline Murray. Murray floats it into the penalty area, and it's booted away. Samar Guidry providing the clearance. Here comes Lancaster, surveying her options. Lancaster slices it out wide to Ubogagu. Chioma Ubogagu from the right channel. Leaves it for Guidry. This will roll all the way back as Davison launching it forward once again. Whistle from our head official, Rodrigo Albuquerque, means a free kick near the mid-circle.
That's great from Dallas, just the patience in possession. They tried to get the ball off transition with Leicester through the midfield, and she pulls it out to Ubogagu, who got double-teamed there on the side and then worked it back all the way to their back line, ultimately earning that foul. But they're not trying to rush anything, and they have plenty of time to do that, to get one back, two as well, to go ahead here. But they're not letting that first goal phase them at all.
Yeah, you don't need to force anything
Absolutely.
here. You can still work it out the way that you intended to. Let's see what kind of service we get here. Balada headed away by Sporting JAX. Thornton trying to turn herself into some space. That's great defending from Caroline Murray. They're looking to maintain confidence, Sporting JAX, and that doesn't just mean how confident you are in your own personal skills, but also in a way that you play as a team. Stacey Balin was telling us that it's important to let them know that, you know, the coaching staff still trusts them and still believes that they don't need to stray from that identity and to sort of stick to what they're good at. She's been telling the squad that they're a good team and they're just waiting for that best day to actually click on the pitch, which, again, as we've discussed, it's a young group, and so, I mean, you have time to wait and see how these players grow.
I mean, they have so many bright spots. I mean, Huerta's the league leader in goals with 8. She starts a lot of their attack. Georgia Brown, who just got back from international duty, is a mainstay in their lineup as well as a young center back. But this team is so resilient, and you saw that in the Lexington game, getting those 2 goals back when you really thought it might have been over. And she also told us this team just really enjoys one another, and they don't let those losses get to them. They address the details that they need to, and then they put it in the past and move on. And you have to have a little bit of a goldfish brain in soccer, where you learn from the things that happen, but you also have to put it behind you because you know you have a game the next week.
It's got to live and learn.
Yep.
Enter the Prinks Tires Family Game Day Kit Sweepstakes for a chance to win a prize pack worth up to $4,000. Scan the QR code on screen to enter today. Who couldn't use $4,000?
Right? That's what I was thinking.
Or $4,000 worth in prizes, I should say. Another free kick being awarded. Foul committed by Caroline Murray. Look on the DTX Sports Medicine replay.
Just came up a little bit late on that one.
Caroline Murray getting her 5th start of the season, 6th appearance of the year from Madison, Wisconsin. Ball sent in, once again, unsuccessful initial contact, and then ambitious from Hannah Davison, still in play. It's been mainly Dallas who've been enjoying possession and asking all the questions, but as you can see on the scoreline, 1-0 after a bit of an error and a pass back to Samantha Estrada. Paige Kenton was all over it. And speaking of being all over, ref says fair play there, as there's a bit of an entanglement between Sophia Bowman and I believe that was Wisner, but
so many bodies were falling right there. I think they were all on the ground for a little bit longer waiting for the ref to whistle, but I think he was confused as well as to what was going on.
So 1-0 was the scoreline the last time these two teams played, and in essence it was an error from Sporting JAX that led to the goal for Dallas in that game. Of course, that happened much later in the match than this one did. Hinson with a lovely intervention there.
It was a great tackle by Hinson, just stopping Murray right in her tracks. JAX using their outside backs and their wing backs to create possession higher up the field, asking a lot out of their players, especially on the outsides, but the success they get off of it is worth the risk they take.
So we're gonna get our first corner kick of the evening. This corner kick brought to you by Cornerstone Capital Bank. And it will belong to Sporting JAX. It'll be Bowman who makes her way over to the right corner flag to deliver it. A team that likes to pass and keep the ball. Chris Petroselli was saying about the opposition. He's saying they're gonna need to disrupt their rhythm throughout this game and then do well with the ball themselves. So far, you could say they've done that mainly as the spinning ball falls down. Still up in the air, parried up by Estrada. She's able to come down with it at the end of things.
And who else there on that header to go to Estrada was Kenton. This ball placed beautifully in. Delayed clearance from Dallas, but Kenton hits her head on the ball once again. She's like a magnet to it in the box right now, scoring her 4th goal of the season to put JAX ahead, Sporting JAX ahead in this match.
Marks just getting that one out of danger, booting it up the pitch. It's certainly been uncomfortable in these first 20 minutes for the visitors.
Now you're starting to see them gain some possession. That one, they're trying to just build through that right side. A little bit tight for Jones and Murray over there, as Dallas was just pinning them in on using the sideline as their 4th defender.
Estrada once again with the ball at her feet, and now if you're a Dallas Trinity FC fan, you're holding your breath for a moment until that trust can be regained, because it's a tough position to fall into. A goalkeeper stepping in for the first time this season and then having that mishap. I mean, there's a show of faith, though, that the players are still willing to go back to her.
Absolutely, and you have to brush that off as soon as it happens and know that you have faith in your goalkeeper regardless of mistakes. Everybody makes mistakes, and unfortunately for her, that one cost them a goal. But you have to use your goalkeeper in building out in possession if they want to do that, and Dallas is a team that loves to work the ball around the back. Just have to be aware of the intense pressure from Sporting JAX when they do high press, especially now that they know that Estrada, it gets a little dicey with the ball at her feet. They're going to put her under pressure even more.
Gear up for year 2. Rep Dallas Trinity FC with the latest kits, scarves, and merch. Visit shop.DallasTrinityFC.com today and show your colors all season long.
Both teams with some really nice looking kits tonight.
Oh, yeah. Just make sure you, whichever team you're a fan of, you go to their store, get some swag, and get decked out in whatever team colors that you're partial to. Curling ball, not a bad looking delivery. Goes back into the woods. Jones nods it out of danger for now. Bogagu tries goal herself. Kaylin Parks is ready for it. A lot of respect for Dallas Trinity from Sporting JAX head coach Stacey Balaam. She said that they haven't gotten the results that really they deserve at this point in the year. Been a little unlucky as this ripping shot goes through the hands of Estrada, and it's a second goal for Sporting JAX. Two tough concessions from the home side, and the visitors are more than willing to take advantage of it.
Ashlyn Puerta is just going to do what she does, cut inside, use all the space that Dallas was giving her, takes the shot, and then unfortunately Estrada just doesn't secure it in her hands, and it goes into the back of the net. Her teammates going up to her, making sure that she was okay and giving her words of encouragement after that goal, but Puerta's going to take that shot every single time. Nobody was stepping to her in the midfield, and then as she got closer to their goal, nobody really stepped out of line at all.
Puerta's 9th goal of the season, which she already led the league in that category. She's also 2nd in the league in shots attempted at 20, so that's now 21 as that just gets away. But that's a player that, I mean, you know she's going to test her luck at some point in the game, so you have to be ready to close her off when she's approaching goal.
Should be Dallas's #1 priority to just delay any movement for Puerta forward, get a body in front of her. Even if they had numbers recovering behind the ball, which they didn't in that scenario, they just didn't step out at all, really protecting their goal instead of dealing with the issue in front of them. Puerta going to take full advantage of that every time.
Yeah, you've got to make it more difficult for her in the attacking third. That's, like you said, should be priority #1. So now the hole has been dug for the home side. They've had some positives on the attacking half, but it just hasn't been good enough in those defensive moments when they're closer to goal. This one going down the right-hand side. Wisner has it knocked out of her clutches. So Guidry plays this one in the middle. Lancaster weaving, tried to feed that one in. Saw the idea. Gracie Bryant peeled into the middle. You liked where that was developing. It just didn't connect. Those are the kind of looks that you're trying to create for yourself, and eventually one of those will fall through.
Yeah, this is the best opportunity Dallas has had, drawing 2-3 defenders, wide open look. And Parks just coming off her line, really confident in net for Sporting JAX.
Quickly thrown in as DeSmit tried to parry it out wide. Settled down and knocked to the back line. Well, the visitors will attack from the other vantage point. Meg Hughes rolls it to the left for Puerta. Puerta, not a bad idea. She's able to deflect the loose end to Phil Potts. Puerta sends it into the middle. And the offside flag goes up. So although Puerta trying to connect with her fellow goal scorer Paige Kenton, it wouldn't have resulted in anything had she been able to receive this one cleanly.
Second and third chance for Sporting JAX in this run of play right there. Kenton just got caught a little bit offsides. Another clear opportunity for Sporting JAX to add more onto the board because of Dallas's just inability to really clear the ball to a safe area.
Parks. That's going to be too far ahead of the intended target. Select the official match ball supplier of the Gamebridge Super League and many elite leagues throughout Europe. Visit us.select-sport.com for the latest Select products, specials, and more. Select, the player's choice. Appreciate you tuning in here for the match this evening. The second of 3 games taking place this Saturday in the Gamebridge Super League. Started off with a kickoff a little over 2 hours ago now between Brooklyn and DC Power. Brooklyn victorious 1-0 in that one at home. And then at 7 p.m. Eastern Time, 6 p.m. Central, Carolina Ascent and Fort Lauderdale will do battle. And then there's another game tomorrow, so a fully loaded weekend in the Gamebridge Super League. You can find it all here on Peacock. Service spinning in and being a little bit closer to goal than perhaps the service was intended to be, but doesn't connect with any of the home jerseys.
I jumped back a little bit as that ball was coming towards the post. Parks watches it go by. I think she kind of hesitated towards the end there just to put her body in front of the far post just in case.
Better safe than sorry.
Absolutely, every time.
Kenton earns the deflection. Well, that was a lot of ground just gained. Ball tossed in by Hughes. And Estrada dives on that ball before Bailey DeSmit can get there.
McCutcheon defended her very well as well, allowing Estrada to come out with a little bit more confidence, knowing that DeSmit was bumped off the ball by her center back McCutcheon.
Dallas Trinity fans, mark your calendars for our next home match on Saturday, December 6th. Join the club as they celebrate Youth Soccer Day, a special night dedicated to the next generation of players and fans. Cheer on Dallas Trinity FC as they take the field against DC Power FC. And don't miss the parade of teams at halftime featuring youth players from across North Texas. Get your team out to the match by sending an email to tickets@DallasTrinityFC.com and get your tickets now at DallasTrinityFC.com. Guidry rolls this one to Balata. And that pass not deep enough for Gogagu to collect. So 30 minutes in, a 2-0 lead in favor of Sporting JAX. Two preventable goals for Dallas in a game where, here in the attacking half, there's been a lot to like and a lot to see as promising for the home side. There's a lot of different nicknames for the sport of soccer. Obviously, you hear the beautiful game, but people like to call it the cruel game as well, because sometimes it can just be unforgiving.
Very much so, and the stats are saying that Dallas is controlling possession with a little bit more than half of it, and we've seen it here in this first half. They've maintained possession longer than Sporting JAX.
Well, the visitors are on the prowl again. Shot skipping to goal. Estrada able to get behind the shot. When they attack, it is quick. Sporting JAX just hit the combination and they go flying.
They really do a really good job of combining together in the wide areas. You saw it there as Kenton dumped that one out. And then the shot was taken on the inside, but Estrada, easy save there, collects it with her whole body.
Just get your chest behind the shot, let it hit you, and then you can collect whatever you make of it after that.
Use yourself as the wall, and nobody was really there to challenge any second balls or the rebound, so she did a good job of making sure that she secured it.
Meanwhile, they're trying to fit the ball through tight alleyways on the other end. Hinson up to Wisner. Bryan making the run, and she's ushered off the ball by Georgia Brown. Once again, it's Meg Hughes. Hughes has Puerta making the run. Puerta dashing forward. Estrada gets there a moment sooner.
Sporting JAX used that moment off of the transition from one endpoint of the field to the other, switching the point of attack as soon as they got that ball, really exploiting Dallas. And Puerta was the one that started the play initially to get it to Meg Hughes. Does all the work the entire way up the pitch, making that underlapping run. Delayed, but still almost got there. Estrada had to come way off of her line, but that is just the danger of Ashlyn Puerta. And what she brings to this Sporting JAX team is energy, the ability to just make the run. Her soccer IQ is off the charts, and as such a young player, her future is so bright in the professional game because she has that mentality of a matureness of a player that has played for so many years, and she came straight from college to the Gamebridge Super League.
You know, it's a dangerous combination in a way, the best of both worlds, because Ashlyn Puerta has been so successful up to this point in the season with now 9 goals this year, so she's just one shy of double digits. But she is also still 18 years old, so it's a player that still has a lot to prove, and she's just trying to demonstrate what she's capable of. And so you get a player who's already showing some aptitude, but also still has a lot of that young player hunger. Parks sends this one forward. No whistle's been sounded. A couple players looking around, waiting to see if a restart was incoming. Getting knocked over there, Sophia Bowman-Wisner. Knocking her over as she was contesting for the ball. Donning the captain's armband for Dallas Trinity. McCutcheon. Roll this one out to the left-hand side. Hinson combining with Lancaster. Cameron Lancaster getting her first goal of the season last time out, along with Gracie Bryan, who also scored in that game. It was her first of the season as well. 2 players that Chris Petroselli is hoping that really activates them this season. They're both talented players who provide a threat going forward. it's just been such a struggle this year for Dallas to find the back of the net throughout a game, and they've certainly got the talent to score goals, but I mean, it's easy. It's not as easy as just having talented players. It's all got to connect together, and then you've got to be mentally ready when those moments come.
Yeah, he used the word hunger a lot in the conversation that we had with him. Hungry to put the ball away when you're in the attacking half and doing everything that you can to put in the back of the net and put your team on the scoreboard, but also on the defensive side, and the hunger to defend your box and take pride in what that looks like, doing everything that you can to protect your goal. And his team just lacking on both sides right now. Not because of talent, though, just because of execution.
One of 2 teams left in the league that haven't scored double digits, as once again, DeSmit running forward. Bailey DeSmit poked away by McCutcheon at the last moment. Will be another corner kick. This corner kick brought to you by Cornerstone Capital Bank.
That ball was just given away in the center of the pitch. Sporting JAX taking full advantage of it, but you see how McCutcheon just slows down the play there. DeSmit trying to go straight to goal, but McCutcheon cutting her off, trying to cut the angle away.
Estrada gets both fists on that one, punching it upward. Settled down by Puerta. She can step forward again. She'll have another go, and taking one for the team there, Sierra Hinson. Out there between Kenton and Davison. Goal scoring happening early in this game. Just 6 minutes into the match, pressure from Paige Kenton resulted in a goal, and then in the 23rd minute, Ashley Puerta let one rip from distance, scoring her 9th of the season. Been positive stuff for Sporting JAX. They feel they could play with anybody in this league. They've proven that, Stacey Balin was telling us. And there have even been some key components in matches they've been able to dominate, as this one deflects to Ubogagu. Chioma Ubogagu into the 18. Now Lancaster taps it right back. Service spins too close to goal, caught by Caitlin Parks.
Dallas didn't really have a lot of help. Ubogagu tried to put it in early, but there were no bodies in the box. Lancaster, who's been everywhere for Dallas, came to help her there, and Ubogagu just tries to take that one herself, knowing that Sporting JAX was fully set. Their entire back line and defensive side of their midfield was back and set, ready to defend, and Dallas right now really not getting the movement up top that they need to break down the Sporting JAX back line.
Philpotts making a run forward. Grace Philpotts taking it all the way herself to Kenton now. Bumped into several bodies there, but they'll go again. With Meg Hughes filling in for her role behind. Grace Philpotts, the defender, taking a foray into the attacking third. Five more minutes to go. Dallas Trinity FC looking to salvage something from this first half, a first half in which they can't feel they've played that much more poorly than our opposition, and yet the scoreline would seem to suggest that.
Yeah, it's been a pretty even match on all things considered, stats and just run of play. Both teams having bouts of possession, making hard tackles, doing things right defensively. Just some unforced errors and mistakes by the goalkeeper, Estrada, is really the difference in this one. These two teams very even. Going into halftime, both coaches just going to want to make sure that their teams are staying level-headed. For Sporting JAX, needing to put more goals on the scoreboard, knowing that Dallas can add some if they take their foot off the gas pedal at all.
Just like we've got the backs of Dallas Trinity FC, Trust and Will also have yours. Helping families protect their legacy for generations. Start your plan today at trustandwill.com. So we're going to get another corner kick here for the visitors. Their third, oh no, it's actually going to be a throw-in. Rolled out before the corner flag. Another home game here for Dallas Trinity. They're going to be spending most of their time at home for the rest of 2025 before the winter break. And today's game in particular, the salute to service game for Dallas Trinity.
Lots of meeting for their head coach, Chris Petruccelli, of what the salute to service game means to him and his family. His dad was in the Navy and fought in the Korean War. He said every time they go to DC, because his mother and him are also buried at Arlington, he likes to go say hello to his parents when they have those away trips to DC. That's what he got to do this past week. And just love when coaches share those personal stories with us, and obviously meaningful for him and his family to be here at home and that be the theme night of this match.
Yeah, he said if you're ever in the DC area, visit the Arlington National Cemetery. It's worth your time. Kenton rolling it out to Murray. Sends it in the middle for Hughes. One times it. And Estrada able to collect it on the other end.
Meg Hughes just sneaking inside there. Finds the ball at her feet. I think she had more time than she realized. She could have brought that ball down to have a better strike on it, but elects to go with the inside of her foot there. Estrada had to dive to save it. It was looking like it might have gone wide, but Sporting JAX still pressing the issue late in this first half, wanting to get some more.
Now it'll be Dallas to push the envelope here before we hear that halftime whistle. Hinson with some room to operate. Hinson into the middle. And some emergency clearing. Prevent that from developing further, but another good moment developing for Dallas. It's Hinson once again. Cutting pass, takes a glance. It's out for a corner kick, the first corner kick of the evening for the home team.
Coming just at the tail end of this first half. Hinson doing a great job of just driving down that far side. She picks up her head and tries to find a run on this first one. Bryant was open on that first cross. She just cut it back more towards the PK spot. Parks in the back line for Sporting JAX, doing a really good job of locking down anything inside the 6-yard box.
Ball swerved into the middle, and that's dealt with very handily. You see 1 more minute tacked on here, so perhaps 1 more moment left in this half. That went off the hip of Maya McCutcheon. And that might see this first half to a conclusion. So there is your whistle after 45 minutes. Pressure from Paige Kenton gave them 1 goal, and then a long-distance effort from Ashlyn Puerta converts the second one. The visitors, they've been so good on the road this season, and they're looking to continue that trend in this game as they attempt to flip this season around. But Dallas Trinity have had their good looks and moments in this game and still have 45 minutes to muster a response. And we know how it can be in this league. Sometimes things can get chaotic. So, I mean, anything could still happen. There's still so much to be discussed in this game.
So many things can happen in 45 minutes, especially for these two sides who have been pretty balanced in this match. It's really going to be who comes out with that different type of mentality in the second half.
Well, before we wrap things up here from the first 45, we do have someone joining us on the show. Our first goal scorer, Paige Kenton, joins the show. Paige, I just want to ask you, what were you seeing on that goal when you applied the pressure? When did it occur to you that you needed to go running for that ball?
Yeah, I just think I saw that she favored her right foot, and so I thought maybe she was pretty faced to the right side, and I thought there might be a chance that I could pick that off. And I also had Meg behind me communicating really well, telling me to go, so it was a team effort.
You mentioned team, how you guys are communicating, especially in that attacking half. How do you guys want to continue to put that collective pressure on Dallas in the second?
Yeah, I mean, I think we're communicating all right. I think we can take it up a notch and just raise the intensity out there. I think, you know, myself and the other forwards need to want the ball a little bit more, get on the ball more. So I think myself and some others can do a better job of that, and that'll just raise the intensity in that final third.
Well, we can't wait to see what that intensity looks like in the second half, Paige. Thank you for taking the time. Go get back with your team, and we'll see what you guys can do in the second 45.
Thank you.
All right, well, that is where the first half will conclude. 2-0, your scoreline after 45. We've got some halftime content coming your way up next on Peacock, so be sure to stay tuned in right here.
Technical goalkeeping. Tampa Bay has done it! Wait, come back! Wait, come back, I need more help.
Take a load off Take a load for free.
Today we went to the beach, and it was totally worth it. Get double points this fall at Best Western.
A dream too big to measure, a will too strong to break. While others played, she prepared. She worked. Every sacrifice, every setback, every moment changed with this. While others saw limits, she saw a challenge. Every rep, every step, proof she's not finished. She's not just coming back, she's coming back stronger than ever. Scottish Right for Children. Champions caring for champions.
This is UT Southwestern Medical Center, and this is where a spark happens. This is the teamwork that fuels it, the mentors who shape it. And this is where it comes together. With this care team connecting the dots, All leading up to this moment right here at UT Southwestern, where discoveries change lives. And this spark is just the beginning. Follow your spark at UT Southwestern, the #1 hospital in Dallas-Fort Worth.
Gonna get ya.
Welcome back to the Cotton Bowl. It's 2-0 in favor of Sporting JAX after the first half of action. The Gamebridge Super League's Be Here series dives into the stories and experiences of players around the league. This video highlights Sporting JAX' Ashlyn Puerta and her journey to becoming a professional soccer player.
My name is Ashlyn Puerta. I'm an attacking midfielder and I play for Sporting Club Jacksonville. I started playing soccer when I was really young. My parents played soccer growing up and so did my older brother. So pretty much as soon as I could walk, I was kicking the ball around with them in our basement. I never wanted to go to college straight out of high school. I always wanted to go professional. I got several offers to go professional straight out of high school here in the US and in Europe, but none of them were right place, right time, right fit for my family at that time. So I believe that God opens and closes doors, and I believe that he was leading me in the direction to Florida State, not wanting to regret never going to college. Last summer, I played with the Florida Elite USL League team. They told me about there's going to be a pro club in Jacksonville, and I, obviously having a good relationship with them, I wanted to know more. I was very impressed with how they wanted to run things, and I really liked the fact that they were going to incorporate the pathway from the academy to the pro team. I think we want to win it all. I think, like I said before, we have a really special group, and I think we have the talent to win, and we're really ambitious. So I think we have every chance, just as much of a chance as any other team in this league to take it all home.
From the iconic Cotton Bowl, it's 2-0 in favor of Sporting JAX over Dallas Trinity FC. The second half is still on the horizon, but we can take a look at the first 45 minutes through the lens of highlights here now on Peacock. Starting in the 6th minute, Paige Kenton described it wonderfully. She recognized a moment to pounce, and boy did she.
And that's just a really good job by her of reading the goalkeeper, knew that she was going to her right foot, cut off any angle, and then just ran right through the ball and Estrada to put that one away. Just that defensive mindedness of Kenton to put the ball away and the pressure she continued to put on Estrada.
But once that goal was scored, it was Dallas then who would be asking questions for a good stretch for the next, 10, 15 minutes of the game?
Yeah, they did a really good job of creating opportunities for themselves, not allowing that goal to get them in their heads whatsoever, but Sporting JAX and Ashlyn Puerta just really doing what she's done all season and taking this one through the central part of the pitch, and then another goalkeeper error by Estrada. This one slipping right through her hands to go into the back of the net. Nobody stepping to Puerta there to put any type of pressure on her, and she's going to rip that shot any game.
Yeah, if no one's going to afford her a close-off, then why not let the leading goal scorer have another go at it? But Dallas would continue to push. This was very close to being a brilliantly worked opportunity, but it fell just short on this occasion. And we have now fallen to the end of our halftime content. We've got one more break. When we come back, though, we've got the second half of action here on Peacock. Let's see if there are any twists to the tale. Let's take a look at some of the stats from halftime. And honestly, as we look at these numbers, Mark Schoenster and Jade Barquette with you here on Peacock, if you just block out that top bar, it's pretty comparable all around. But of course, that top bar is the most important of all of them.
Yeah, absolutely. And we kind of mentioned it during the run of play in the first half that these two teams are very similar, very balanced when it comes to the run of play, but those miscalculations and unforced errors by the goalkeeper really the difference for Sporting JAX in that first half.
So now we'll see how these two sides have adjusted here in the second. There are no personnel adjustments, so it will be the same 22 players out there on the pitch for you. As we get this one underway, a volleyed ball launched into Sporting JAX's half as they now go left to right to Dallas's right to left. And they try to immediately get to work the home side. Let's see what we have in store here. As you can see, Mark Schoenster and former college player Jade Barquette with you here on the broadcast. 2 goals scored opportunistically by Sporting JAX. But they also had other moments that they generated similarly to that of Dallas, but they were pretty equal in how many chances they developed for themselves. Parks will put this one further up the pitch, and Dallas will collect it here. This is a situation where Jacksonville, Sporting JAX in general, you have this 2-0 lead. So you're in a spot where you're feeling pretty good about your position in this match. But in many ways, the story of this season has been, at times, the inexperience of this team shining through. And this is a situation where you've got to learn from previous games where perhaps you've let opportunities slip by, that you've now got to make sure you maintain this 2-goal lead, because the saying goes, a 2-0 lead is the most dangerous in the sport. And usually you would look at a team that doesn't have the experience of holding on to this advantage as the primary reason why a team could lose a 2-0 lead. So it'll be very interesting to see how they manage it with so many first-year pros on this roster who have significant contributions to this team throughout the year.
And it's all about managing moments, and that's so hard to replicate in a training scenario, but head coach Stacey Balaam just emphasized to us that in this week of training, they've really just put them in positions where they need to problem solve themselves, man up scenarios or man down scenarios where they've really had to problem solve in real time and just be receptive to those changes.
Hinson swings this one in the middle. It's off the crossbar. Oh, so close to an own goal. But a sigh of relief for the visitors. Wow. A moment that, you know, as a defender, you're facing goal, you feel the need to make a play on the ball. Nearly ends a disaster, but they can sweat bullets and look at the score sheet and see that it's still 2-0.
An insanely close call for Philpotts in this back line of Sporting JAX. It was defended well, but you get into those moments where your body's just facing the wrong way because of how quick the cross came in. You weren't set, facing outward and almost deflected back into the net. The crossbar was their friend there in that scenario for sure.
You see that exact scenario play out in the wrong way so often. I mean, I feel like that's probably the most common of setups for an own goal, is that whipping cross right through the middle. Defenders just trying to get a piece of that ball to disrupt any striker from getting on it. And then, oops.
It's part of why the early cross is so helpful.
That effort goes off target. Will be a goal kick, but we need to get another look at that previous interaction.
It was a great underlapping run, and again, that ball just whipped in. Sporting JAX was not set at all, and it looked like it was Meg Hughes who had dropped back and was trying to help her team defend and almost cleared it into her own goal. And we talk about, for Dallas, having the wind taken out of their sails when that first goal was scored, and how it was scored with the pressure from Paige Kenton, and that was almost a similar scenario early on in the second half. But they got bailed out by the crossbar, which you don't normally say often at all.
Yeah, not too often you hit the crossbar and you go, oh, thank goodness I did that. Good sliding intervention. And we'll go for a throw. Davison doing good work there, the center back. Puerta. Rolls this one in centrally. Long distance shot will sputter over top harmlessly. Dallas Trinity fans want the inside track this season? Sign up for the DTFC newsletter for breaking news, special offers, and exclusive updates from the club in year 2 of the Gamebridge Super League. Scan the QR code now and stay connected all year long. Moving forward, Julie Lester. That one knocked away from her. She was the one who tried the long distance effort just a moment ago. Now it's Thornton. Along the touchline she goes. Has an option. She feeds it into the middle, but Caitlin Parks able to get that ball once it rolled into her box. Searching pass for Amber Wisner. Smith knocked over. Talked about a little bit with this Sporting JAX team. Learning about that problem-solving method that comes with managing a game up 2-0. And the nice thing about this group is, although they're young, Stacey Balaam has emphasized that they're incredibly receptive and are trying to learn and better themselves and are open to coaching each and every day.
You have to have a team that wants to be a sponge, learn from their own mistakes, learn about themselves, and use that to be coachable. There's nothing more that a head coach wants and needs from a team than that coachability.
Kenton. One searching for another white and orange jersey, but won't connect. Lester now to Hughes. Meg Hughes has a go. And once again, it's off target. And well, we're seeing some long distance efforts from Sporting JAX here, and you can't blame them for having it go. At this point, Dallas needs to prove that they can prevent those opportunities from occurring.
The confidence is flying high right now from Sporting JAX. You're seeing shots taken from way outside of the 18 just because they have the ability to. They have the green light from their coach. They're feeling confident. They have a 2-0 lead. They know that their teammates behind them will back them up. And Estrada has had some mistakes in this match, so why not test her more?
Hughes. Oh, that is admission of defeat right there. The push on the numbers, knocking over Ubogagou. Those two offensive players going one-on-one in that scenario, and Ubogagou in the defending role, just getting the better. Thornton does well to shrug off some contact. Allie Thornton plays it behind Wisner. She tried to poke it back in the middle, but I believe either recipient would have been offside.
Dallas just using their muscle there and will to want to get the ball in the attacking third. But what a response by Sophie Jones to work all the way back. The captain, she's so mature there in the midfield, does all the work back into the 18-yard box to make sure that that one wasn't in the back of the net.
A lot of real estate here for Kenton. Cutting in the middle for DeSmit. Handled on that occasion by Dallas.
That's better defending from Dallas. Kenton had a lot of time. She could have maybe taken a few more touches just to draw out more defenders before slipping that ball in behind, but Dallas taking advantage of the numbers up scenario they had in the box to clear that one away.
Here comes service. Knocked out. The Gamebridge Super League season is in full swing. Visit GamebridgeSuperLeague.com for all the latest information, analysis, and insight to all things Gamebridge Super League. As we get a corner kick here in the second half. This corner kick brought to you by Cornerstone Capital Bank. So here comes the service. Caught by Estrada. Right into the red basket. Meanwhile, Ubogagu starts running on the other end.
I like that Estrada was trying to go quickly to her main woman up top, Ubogagu, but she just didn't have anybody to help her really start that attack.
Lancaster, good touch. Lancaster playing it across the middle, hoping for somebody, begging for somebody to get on the end of it.
She did a good job of cutting back and giving herself a little bit more time. She saw she was off balanced on that shot, couldn't get the power on it that she needed to.
Henson persists. Henson fires, it's off target. Four changes, that's right, are all happening right now for Chris Petrucelli. So let's get them all to you. Kylie Dulaney is subbing on for Samar Guidry. The young Rhea Moore is subbing on for Cameron Lancaster, so that opportunity she generated moments ago is her last outing. Caroline Kelly is subbing on for Allie Thornton. And Celie Strawn will step on for Chioma Ubogagu. So the entire front three being reloaded here for Coach Chris Petrucelli. Looking to see if they can make something with the players off the bench. So lots of new faces out there for Dallas Trinity. And some new faces for Sporting JAX to deal with, but also some familiar faces as well, including one that they could call teammates now. Celie Strawn subbing into the game along with Ashlyn Puerta and Charlotte Burge of Carolina Ascent, just getting back from playing with the U20 women's national team, which is just a fantastic opportunity for the three of them, including the two in the game now.
It's so cool when you go to play against someone to now being teammates in the same national team camp, and then, but also competing for spots there as well. But that's such a exciting opportunity for these young players to get to go and represent their country and train with some of the best in their age and really just show themselves on that world stage. But then they come back into their club and they're playing against each other now. It's interesting, and those relationships will continue to grow as these players, these young players in these clubs go and represent their respective national teams.
So Jade Pennock also subbing in for Bailey DeSmit. One change as we get a look at them. So just to point some players out, of course, Burge is on the left, and then you have got Puerta along with Celie Strawn in the middle there. Just enjoying team camp and representing the league at the national stage, and we're hoping to see them at more camps in the future, and maybe, of course, with the senior national team at some point in time once, you know, they get a little more older, a little seasoned in the game.
All smiles in that picture, but I'm sure when they saw each other today, it wasn't when they got on the pitch.
Oh, it's all business. Ball lofted in the middle, headed towards goal, and it lands on the roof. Amber Wisner trying to get involved on the attacking end here in the second half.
And I like that Wisner is getting more into the 18 in the second half. She's the captain for this Dallas team, such an experienced player in her professional career. She knows what this team needs right now, and it is a goal as we get later into the second half, and she can be a spark plug for them, usually a part of their build-up and just facilitating the ball forward, but right now she has gotten a lot more looks in the attacking third than she has in the defensive.
Offside flag goes up as Caroline Kelly was trying to time that run right. Gear up for year 2. Rep Dallas Trinity FC with the latest kits, scarves, and merch. Visit shop.DallasTrinityFC.com today and show your colors all season long. Two-thirds of the way through this match. Both goals coming in the first half for Sporting JAX. Dallas Trinity here in the second half of action, looking for the first of at least 2 responses. They've had their moments going forward, but it hasn't had that final connection that they've needed.
They're trying to pick up their speed of play due to, yes, we're getting down to the later half of the second half, but also those fresh legs. They're going to add some energy for this Dallas side.
Kenton running this one down from the right channel. Wins the throw in. Maya McCutcheon wasn't going to allow her to get any further than that. Well, you're not offside on a throw, but the moment the throw is put into play, you're then offside again. Estrada is going to opt to take this one. So I wanted to continue a thought from earlier when talking about Celie Strawn and Ashlyn Puerta and some of the young talent in this league. And I thought both coaches had some really good things to say about where youth development is in this league, as both of these teams have already showcased several young players. Rhea Moore is out there now, just 16 years old, playing in professional matches. And for some of these players, it needs an alternate route than going to college, because Puerta just spent the 1 season at Florida State and then said, wait, I could go be a pro now. Let me just do that. And then Celie Strawn and potentially Rhea Moore, well, actually Rhea Moore as well, both of them committed to play collegiate soccer, and they're going to be much the better for it, for having played in this league on an academy contract prior to actually going to play at the college ranks.
Both coaches had a ton to say about what this league brings to the young players and to really everyone as an opportunity for pro soccer here in the United States.
Puerta sends this one inside, takes a bounce, caught by Estrada. Some dominoes falling over right in front of her.
Chris Petrucelli just really saying that everybody wins in this scenario. The player wins because they get the development from a professional style of organizations. Club wins because it makes their team better. They're getting the best players.
Wisner trying to help her team win, and it'll roll out of play.
He also said that the league wins. I mean, they're the only ones that are doing it in the country. These players getting the ability to play professional and then go to college. He said Celie Strawn, her development has just skyrocketed since she's been on this team, and she was thinking about going to North Carolina in the spring, but coaches there just allowing her to play here in the spring, which is so huge for her development, as when she gets there in the fall, she's going to have that professional mindedness that she might not have had if she went to college earlier. And then obviously the college teams win because it makes their team better as well when they have these players who've been in these professional environments.
Yeah, I think UNC had that thought where they go, wait a minute. We can, I mean, you could play like 5 spring games, or you could play a way more professional level matches. Yeah, just keep doing that. Keep doing that. Play against full-on adults and develop even further and become that much more of a game wrecker once you show up to campus. Is 2 orders of business. First off, we have a player down, and also, as you saw, Andrea Fernandez, one of those impact players off the bench we highlighted in the first half, subbing in for Caroline Murray. It's Wayne Bellata down on the ground.
Jade Pennick just ran into her. Looked like her elbow got Bellata's face or shoulder area. Obviously, you want to make sure that anything that has to do with the head is an immediate look at by the training staff.
Well, Stacey Balaam talking about the youth talent. Just mentioned that the league provides the opportunity to play at a really high level, and it's a new pathway now that's being offered to these young players that was not there before. Mentioned how Ashlyn made the jump from college to playing at this level. All right, so as both teams are getting themselves recuperated, these are the 2 goals that have been scored in this match. Opportunistic, to say the least, from Paige Kenton here. Recognized a moment of weakness, and then Puerta, I mean, if you afford her that much space, she's going to let it fly and test her luck.
She's going to say thank you very much. I mean, a beautiful shot, so powerful. Estrada just took her eyes off the ball for 1 second there, and that's all it takes for the ball to slip through your hands. But Kenton really emphasizing to us in that halftime interview the intensity of what they wanted their forwards to bring to the second half. They've really maintained possession a lot better here in the second than they did the first. Haven't had a ton of opportunities on goal here in the second so far, but they're being really patient in picking out those opportunities too.
You don't have to be really forceful with it either, up 2-0. Bowman, well, there's some space to work with there, but just split the difference between 2 options.
That was Wisner who picked up the ball there. She has been working on both sides of the ball, really facilitating the offense for Dallas.
On the other end, Bellata. The challenge from Philpotts. That's good. Slides in, gets the ball. Rodrigo Albuquerque, our head official, says fair play.
Beautifully timed tackle by Philpotts. Had them on a 1v1 situation, and yeah, it can be a little bit dicey going down to the ground in your own box, but she timed it beautifully.
Yeah, that takes some bravery. Hinson decides to go forward to Moore. Bellata to her right-hand side. Dallas with some numbers forward. And the deflected cross goes into the hands of Caitlin Parks. Bellata, just too heavy of a touch as she swerved to her left. Hughes feeling pressure from Strawn. Pennick just lost track of the ball. Kylie Delaney able to help the home side recover possession, but it's given right back. Pennick. Now Hughes. Meg Hughes whips it into the middle. And a diving header from Paige Kenton. Didn't have enough bite on it. Went straight down the middle as well.
Kenton had her hand up the whole time in the box, knowing she wanted to receive that ball. It was a beautiful cross from Meg Hughes, who kind of just picked the ball up after Jade Pennick really didn't have anywhere to go with it. Really patient in their build up and attack right now is Sporting JAX, and Kenton's going to want that header back.
Open to attain a brace there in that moment. Wasn't meant to be. Wisner is down on the ground. Play will continue up until that point as they're worried about head contact. So Rodrigo Albuquerque will wave on the training staff. Captain Amber Wisner issuing her complaints from the ground. 34 years old from New Hope, Pennsylvania. Looks like the stray hand of Georgia Brown unintentionally swiping her there.
Again, you always want to check to make sure that your player is okay. There was kind of a delayed reaction. I think that the trailing hand of Georgia Brown, Wisner obviously upset with the referee. And if you're Dallas right now, you are really wanting her to get back on the pitch as soon as possible. She has really been the catalyst for a lot of their attack here in the second half. Doing the work on both sides of the ball, working from the defensive side in the 18 to all the way to the attacking.
So she'll go back over to the touchline and wait to be waved back in. There'll be a drop ball in favor of Sporting JAX, as they were the ones with possession when the whistle sounded. Wisner back in the game as Kenton turning on the burners. Paige Kenton, excuse me, leaving me tongue-tied as it's a red card. A straight dismissal on the challenge for McCutcheon. Denying a clear goal-scoring opportunity. Maya McCutcheon has been sent off.
It was really a foot race between these two. McCutcheon, who has had such a great game in this match so far, just takes out the legs of Kenton. Again, really hard to judge the timing of the tackle because they were both going right for the ball, but McCutcheon gets all of Kenton's legs, and since she is the last defender there, she will get out with a red card and have to go to the locker room for this one.
And a dangerous free kick opportunity follows up after the fact.
So unfortunate because McCutcheon had been doing so well in this match, cleaning up second balls and really winning first ones as well. Going to ground and tackles, that one just mistimed.
Philpotts and Puerta. Ashlyn Puerta trying to pick out the left side, off target.
That's right in her breadbasket. You saw her kind of lift her head up in frustration and disappointment as that one went wide, but beautiful strike by Puerta, just got too much of some spin on it.
Estrada, it spills out. Pennock. Some good recovery here from members of that Dallas back line. Sporting JAX on the prowl again. This one spills through for Puerta. Off target. You'd think she'd put it on frame from that spot.
I don't really think she expected the ball to come for her. The ability of Meg Hughes to play in such tight areas is beautiful, but then it kind of deflected off the defender for Dallas. I don't think Puerta was really expecting it to fall right to her, but off balance, hit that wide. Obviously going to be disappointed with that one as well. Just put her team up one more. Talk about how dangerous a 2-0 lead is. Changes a little bit now that there's one less player for Dallas on the pitch, though.
Pressure from Strawn. She works so hard to keep it in bounds, and that extra effort is going to be necessary from each individual on this Dallas Trinity team. Fans, stay up to date with the Gamebridge Super League. Sign up for the Super Newsletter. Get news about your favorite team and stories from around the league delivered directly to your inbox weekly. Sign up at GamebridgeSuperLeague.com/newsletter. Rhea Moore lofts this one in, headed down and off target. A close encounter, though, for the home team.
And once again, it's Amber Wisner on the back post with that trailing run. Beautiful slip ball through. Rhea Moore with a great early ball. Wisner doing everything that she can to get her head on the end of it, just behind the goal.
Kenton hoping for some help from the official there, but won't get it. Muscling off Maya McCutcheon on that interaction resulted in the red card being issued. Lovely ball over for Strawn. We'll have to track it down a little bit. Ball swung in the middle. Jones able to manage it. Some frustration as the ball gets spiked down on the ground. Gotta be careful when you do things like that, because sometimes that can get you in the books. Just like we've got the backs of Dallas Trinity FC, Trust and Will also has yours. Helping families protect their legacy for generations. Start your plan today at trustandwill.com. Bowman trying to thread it through the middle, and it'll roll out very close to a corner kick, but we'll see which side of the flag it actually rolled out on. It does look to be a corner kick, which is brought to you by Cornerstone Capital Bank.
Sporting JAX is continuing to press high up the pitch. That ball coughed up by Estrada right to Bowman, who tried to play quickly, but it goes off for a corner instead. They're still looking for those opportunities, wanting to put more goals up.
Philpotts with the service. Well done there by Estrada. Two goals scored in the first half for Sporting JAX, which has given them the 2-0 lead, and then just recently a straight red issued to Maya McCutcheon, which has made a bad situation worse for Dallas Trinity FC.
And honestly, since she's been out, you really can't tell that they're down one player. They're doing a really good job of keeping the ball, and when they do have it, and getting numbers around the ball and in defense. You see there, they're just continuing to put pressure on Sporting JAX, who looks like they're taking their foot off the gas just a little bit. They don't want to get caught in, again, managing moments where you're up 2-0, you are up a player now, but how do you continue to put Dallas under pressure, really put their heads down?
That one seemed to have slipped out of the hands of Andrea Fernandez. Delaney, that touch just getting away from her.
Fernandez, a player that head coach Stacey Balaam talked about being that impact player who's still kind of trying to prove themselves for Sporting JAX.
Kenton hits the brakes, rolls it back. The effort from Fernandez. That might be another concussion worry situation where they need to check the head contact. Gracie Bryan just taking one from point blank range. Always putting your body on the line to defend, and sometimes you have to pay the price for it.
Always stuns you when the ball comes right at your noggin when you're not expecting the shot, especially when you block it with your head too, not expecting it. You want to hit the ball and not have the ball hit you, and Gracie Bryan right there, a warrior for Dallas.
That can rattle you for a little while, as it's been a bit of a rattle in this recent stretch for Chris Petrucelli and his unit. 3 straight losses, trying to snap that trend, but it's not looking too hot on that front right now. Coach Stacey Balaam in her first year in charge of Sporting JAX, of course, given it's the voyage season for Sporting JAX. She's been the one chosen to steer the ship in its first ever year as a club. They recently announced who their head coaches for the USL Championship team that's coming, so a lot of big things in development for Sporting JAX as they continue to expand their image to not only the Gamebridge Super League, but also to the USL Championship.
Stylish with the sunglasses on her head, too, on the sidelines. I love it.
And Liam Fox, the man, taking over on the men's side of things once they get that one off the ground. Fernandez pairing it across the middle, and that comes off of Pennick with quite a bit of heat, but not on target. Dallas Trinity fans, mark your calendars for our next home match on Saturday, December 6th. Join the club as they celebrate Youth Soccer Day, a special night dedicated to the next generation of players and fans. Cheer on Dallas Trinity FC as they take the field against DC Power FC. And don't miss the Parade of Teams, a halftime featuring youth players from across North Texas. Get your team out to the match by sending an email to tickets@DallasTrinityFC.com and get your tickets now at DallasTrinityFC.com. Caitlin Parks going to ground after that clearance. There's a look at it again on the replay presented by DTX Sports Medicine.
Wisner just trying to press the issue there. Couldn't slow herself down. She'll be awarded the yellow, yeah. Jinx. Have to protect the goalkeeper in that scenario. Parks clearly was trying to go for the ball and had it. And in those situations, it's really hard. You're trying to run as fast as you can through the ball. If you're Wisner, can't slow yourself down. Parks clears it away. Has to absorb the contact.
You add in the contact or the context as well that you're down and you're down a player.
Right.
So you're just doing everything you can to have those effort plays where you can maybe find an edge. You can find some sort of spark or moment. So Wisner incentivized to try and push for everything whenever there's a moment to push for it.
And every single opportunity counts. You don't know if Parks was going to whiff it and she could have tapped it in easily. You have to go 100% through the ball every time, especially when you're down like you added.
Fernandez plays it up ahead. Once again, it's Paige Kenton. That one did not come off the boot the way she was hoping. Rhea Moore working her way on the other end. Moore earns her side of corner kick, brought to you by Cornerstone Capital Bank.
This is a great opportunity for Dallas just to get one back in this match. Create service, and anything dropped into the box is an opportunity for your team to poke one in, and regardless of the numbers that you have, if you can throw enough bodies at the ball and put one away, it's huge.
Settled down and now more effectively cleared. Ball tracked down by Strawn as the whistle sounds from Rodrigo Albuquerque once again.
Jade Pennick down on the pitch after this contact. Just a collision with the ball and cleats. Definitely going to leave a bruise. But Pennick, a player that head coach Stacey Balaam has known for a really long time. She coached her at University of North Georgia, UNG. They've just created such a relationship together throughout the years, and when Stacey Balaam took over for Sporting JAX, she knew that Jade Pennick was a player she wanted on her side because of obviously the relationship that they've built, but just how much Pennick can bring to a team and her attacking mindset, her strength on the field, the way she can hold up the ball, really allow the midfield to get involved with the attack as well.
And she brings something valuable to this team. We've harped on the youth and inexperience of this team. She brings experience. 32 years old. She's played her fair share of the sport and acts as a bit of a coach on the pitch, as she described it. So someone who'll call players out, has some banter, and you need some of that in a group. And she's super diligent with her care for herself. Very good about nutrition and maintaining her body. As we get a substitution, Meg Hughes is out, and Daviana Vaca will sub on. So looking to maintain this advantage for the next 5 minutes plus stoppage time. So this one will fall back to Parks, and she will lob this one forward, and Henson to Estrada. Estrada stepping into the game for Riley Foster. Her first appearance of the season, had 3 appearances last year in the fall for Dallas Trinity FC. Meanwhile, on the other end, been sort of a goalkeeping battle between Jamie Gerstenberg and Caitlin Parks. A goalkeeping battle that Stacey Balaam described as one with fine margins, both goalkeepers offering different strengths and traits, and so sometimes it might just come down to what dangers do the opposition provide and which goalkeeper is more fitting to manage that. But day by day, it's a very friendly competition. They're pushing each other, but they have each other's back. They're very close, Jamie Gerstenberg and Caitlin Parks. So no animosity there with vying for that one individual spot. It's such an interesting position group because of the fact that you can't have more than one of them out there on the pitch at any given game. So
the confidence for her to put either goalkeeper in, depending on what the game calls for, is huge for a club where you have that versatility in the goalkeeping position, where if one goes down, you know the confidence of the other one to step up too.
Ball spinning inside, and a second effort cleared off the line. Sporting JAX hanging on there, maintaining their 2-0 lead.
And that is going to be brought up in film as a key point of managing a moment and doing the defensive work.
Parks collects that one, had to rise up for it, took some contact, and she's down on the ground again.
Take another look at this corner. Beautifully whipped in by Rhea Moore right to that back post. I thought it had slipped through the hands of Parks, but the defense closed the gaps. And then Jade Pennick doing the defensive work as the forward back there in the box to clear that one off the line. Keeping that clean sheet alive for Parks in the back line. And Sporting JAX coming up huge in that moment. Dallas really knocking on the door and frustrated that that one didn't go in.
Defensively, it's all hands on deck for Sporting JAX.
Stacey Balaam talked about her team just being disciplined. They need the discipline, especially in those moments where if you take 1 second of a break mentally, then that goal goes in the back of the net. If Jade Pennick doesn't slide over and block that one with her head, it could go in the back of the net, and Dallas is right back in this match.
Yeah, you get a goal there, and suddenly you're very much feeling the push and the surge to go get that second one. Henson with some pace going forward, lets it fly. It's off target. Getting closer to that 90-minute mark, though. I would anticipate there being quite a bit of time added on. We've had a couple of extended stoppages here in the second half. This being the second of 3 games taking place today, the second of 4 over the weekend in the Super League, Cambridge Super League, excuse me. 1-0 Brooklyn victorious earlier over DC Power. In about 5 minutes, Carolina Ascent and Fort Lauderdale will kick off. And then tomorrow you will have Spokane and Tampa Bay doing battle. that was a rough collision with the board on the end for Paige Kenton. Both of them running towards that ball. Kenton's back up on her feet. Hannah Davison still slow to get up.
That looked like it hurt terribly on both sides. The pitch looks like it's playing really slippery in that corner. They both go to ground. Davidson just getting caught up in her own pretzel of trying to save herself from running into the boards, and Kenton flew right into them.
Yeah. So we're gonna get 6 more minutes added on. So I mentioned that we might have a wealthy amount of time added on, and well, we've gotten that. Now Davison being assessed here, one of the returning players from last season's team. Ashlyn Puerta, 90 minutes into this game, still flying towards the ball, trying to make something happen. Up 2-0, up a player.
She never shows any signs of stopping or being tired, fatigue. She's constantly going. In the game in stoppage time, where you're up 2-0 and up a player, some folks wouldn't have charged for that ball or really put any pressure, and she's just doing those little details that really differentiate her in this league, especially as a rookie.
As time ticks away in this match, and this result seems to be more and more solidified. Of course, no guarantee that this is how it will close, but the likelihood of it happening increasing by the minute. It'll be a good little while before Sporting JAX play again. It'll be 2 weeks. But they'll go home and play Fort Lauderdale United for the first time, so battling one of their Florida rivals.
It's going to be a really exciting match. Both teams love to possess. They both can score off the drop of a hat. It's going to be a really exciting match between those two Florida rivals.
And then Dallas will play next weekend, their last road game of 2025. They'll go all the way over to the Northwest to play Spokane. Kenton holding off the contact for a while, but the exchange there with Vaca lacking a little bit. This one switched over to Moore. Maria Moore all by herself. Moore still going. The solo effort from the 16-year-old, nearly paying some huge dividends.
The individual effort with this extravagant ball across the top from Wisner gets Rhea Moore in a 1v1 situation, and she takes this ball with the outside of her left foot, trying to swing it around Parks. Just brilliance by the young professional, doing anything that she can to put this ball away. And the unselfishness of Wisner, who had the space, was getting closed down by Sporting JAX, but elects to dump that one all the way across to Rhea Moore, who was in a better position there to take that shot.
Strawn with the back heel. Oh, looks like she just took a jab from Vaca. And she'll get a yellow card for it. First yellow card of the season for Daviana Vaca. Talking about that game against Fort Lauderdale United in 2 weeks. Played for Fort Lauderdale last season.
She had her shoe taken off. Stepped right out of it.
That's the first yellow card of the game, first booking of the game for Sporting JAX. Now a set piece chance with the time dwindling away here. Estrada into the attacking half, putting it back into play. And Delaney, not sure how much of that she connected with, but it was enough to warrant Caitlin Parks to get in the way.
And she fell a little awkwardly after she tried to head that ball, just twisting her body around to try to get the contact that she needed, but didn't eventually get. So the 6 added minutes have transpired here from the Cotton Bowl. This the second meeting all time between these two sides. Dallas victorious in the first occasion. Sporting JAX looking to take this second leg. Coming into this match, both sides were looking for some positivity to build off of. Puerta finds Pennick. Pennick denied by Estrada. The door's still open. Puerta tried to dribble it over to the goalkeeper, and a point to the penalty spot has been awarded. It was great by Puerta just to dump this ball to Jade Pennick, who timed her run really well. Estrada came out with a massive save. And then Puerta tried to just tap that one around Estrada and get the foul and the penalty kick as time is basically out in this match, Mark.
So, Ashlyn Puerta, 18 years old, her first year as a pro, and she has the opportunity to score 10 goals in 10 professional matches. For a brace today, and her 10th of the season, Puerta steps up, it's saved! Estrada knocking it away. And the final whistle sounds. Sporting JAX will walk away victorious 2-0 on the evening. Both teams looking for some positivity to work with coming out of this game. Sporting JAX the side that now will look to make it a trend going forward.
Very dramatic ending we had here in this match. But again, both sides, hard-fought match. Dallas going down to 10 players, middle of the second half. Really didn't seem that it fazed them that much, though. They didn't give up another goal, and they continued to press the issue, maintaining possession the whole way through. Sporting JAX in this match doing a really good job at managing those moments better, maintaining the lead throughout this entire time, and then securing the win at the end.
So, 2-0 your scoreline here. We're going to step aside real quick. When we come back, we'll have a post-game interview and our post-game thoughts here on Peacock. All 3 points for Sporting JAX. Well, for Sporting JAX, excuse me. We'll see you on the other end here on Peacock. Full time here from the Cotton Bowl. 2-0, the final score. Sporting JAX victorious over Dallas Trinity FC. Mark Schoenster and Jade Marquette with you here, along with Ashlyn Puerta. Got our 9th goal of the season this evening. Ashlyn, appreciate you joining us. I just want to ask you,
Yeah, thank you.
a 2-0 result here. What do you think your team can build off from this result? What did you like about the performance?
Yeah, I think first half we did a good job of dominating and connecting our passes and playing in their half. I think second half we kind of let that slip away a little bit and just they were coming at us a little more, and I think we need to just regain control of the game in those moments and keep connecting our passes and playing our game in their half.
Your 10th match of this Gainbridge Super League in your rookie season. How do you feel like you have grown as a player from that first match till now?
Yeah, I think obviously professional is a different game, and so there's a lot to learn. So I'm super grateful to be here and to be obviously playing the game I love at the professional level. So I think I've grown a lot in just getting the ball and decision making and when to dribble, when to pass. That's something I wanted to work on a lot is on the dribble, just taking the space and not hesitating, and I think I've grown a lot in that area.
Well, Ashlyn, we've really appreciated watching you grow, and it's been a pleasure to watch you throughout the season, so keep up the good work. We appreciate you hopping on, and best of luck in 2 weeks.
Thank you very much.
Awesome. Well, that was Ashlyn Puerta as we now take a look at the full-time highlights here from this match, and this one got going early. The 6th minute, it was pressure from Paige Kenton, and here we go. Ka-ching, you get your goal.
You love to start early, especially with this type of goal. Just a fantastic read from Paige Kenton just to continue her run through Estrada there to put that one away. And then Dallas didn't back away, though. They had to put a lot of pressure on them, but Ashlyn Puerta doing what she does all season, scoring goals. This one a rip of a shot right to Estrada, who took her eye off of it and let that one slip through her hands. But Puerta scoring her 9th goal in 10 matches here today.
So 2-0, your scoreline at halftime, and that is what the final score would be. But as Ashlyn Puerta said, this Dallas Trinity side in the second half, they were throwing everything they could at this game, and they came so close.
A kiss from the crossbar. You say thank you very much. We appreciate you, because this game could have been 2-1 with that clearance from Meg Hughes. And then this one, just not really a game changer for Dallas, but it took a player off the field for them after McCutcheon went down with the red card and Paige Kenton, but that didn't really stop them. They had so many more opportunities. This was their prime one in the second half. A great clearance off the line by Jade Pennick kept this one a clean sheet for Sporting JAX.
Second clean sheet of the season for Caitlin Parks. As we look at the full-time stats, and it's a lot of shots on target, but even with those numbers intact and considered, this was still a game that was in many ways very stalematey.
Yeah, absolutely. And like you mentioned in the first half, if you take that first line away, it's really even the whole way through. Both these teams wanting to take different things away from the match. Obviously, Sporting JAX with the W and the 3 points, going to look ahead very confident. But Dallas have a lot to work on still, really managing moments in that defensive side as well. But both these teams battle today for sure.
A lot of fight being demonstrated, so that's something they'll both want to translate going forward, along with the tactical tweaks that may be coming in the next few weeks. But this is where our show will end here on Peacock. There's another game kicking off and taking place right now, so be sure to check it out. But for our broadcast crew, for Jade Marquette, I'm Mark Schoenster saying so long, have a good night, and we'll see you next time. Your final score, Sporting JAX 2, Dallas Trinity FC 0.
This copyrighted telecast of the United Soccer League cannot be retransmitted, rebroadcast, or reproduced without the express written consent of the United Soccer League.